All right, hello. Welcome to the Nintendo Bros podcast. It's the Sunday before Nintendo's E3 press conference. How are you, Derek?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm pretty good. Now, some big announcements today. We're just going to cover our thoughts on those. First, there was the Smash Bros. Direct, or the Smash Bros. Announcement video, whatever you want to call it. And then they had the Nintendo Worldwide Championship 2015.
Just World Championship.
World Championship that takes place in the U.S. only.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's talk it up. Okay, Derek. So what were your thoughts on the Smash Bros. Announcements?
So I mean, I already had expected that because it was kind of leaked. They found in game. There were already videos out of Ryu and Roy, so I wasn't necessarily surprised, but I was pretty excited. I always love new characters, and Smash Bros. Is one of my favorite series. So overall, I mean, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I got to admit, I think that had it not leaked, I mean, it leaked, 4 months ago? And then, 2 days ago or yesterday, it was just like full-blown leaks, pictures, videos, the works.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit underwhelming that, when we watched it, there was nothing really new about it.
Yeah.
Was there anything new at all that we didn't know? I don't think so.
Yeah. The newest thing, one, there was tournaments. That's announced for August.
Yep.
And two, they announced that they're bringing Hyrule Castle from N64 as well as I think it's called Peach's Castle from N64. They're bringing those both back.
That's cool. I mean, we kind of knew about tournaments since last August.
Yeah,
it's not really new. It's more just heavily delayed.
Yeah,
which I think is cool. I think that had we not seen, if we had not known about it, this would have been a huge announcement. I mean, if they had dropped Ryu out of nowhere and you could have downloaded it right away and played as him, I think that's pretty freaking huge.
Yeah, totally. Well, it was huge regardless, and people knew about it. I mean, it's still like the eShop was down for hours, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're making a lot of money off that. I don't know about you, but I just bought it and played a bunch of Ryu and Roy.
Yeah, me too.
I think Roy's gonna become one of my mains because I love him.
Yeah, Roy has some sweet moves. I'm not sure I like him more than Marth, but he's still sweet.
I find Ryu. I've played a lot of him already, and I like him, but I'm not sure I love him. It feels different than regular Smash Bros.
Yeah, he's not quite my play style either.
Yeah, I haven't quite grasped the whole. When you can tap the attack button versus hold it down for an extra second, doing two different moves. I haven't quite grasped that yet.
Yeah, me too. As well as the input commands. Like, they had the classic Street Fighter input commands that will do stronger attacks of his special moves, and some of them I don't even know how to do, and I don't really know where to even look those up. I guess online, but so I don't know how to master those either.
Yeah. Okay. Well, continuing on here, what do you think about the new level?
The new level as far as Ryu's level?
Ryu's. I mean, the other one's the old Kirby Dream Land, which is cool.
As well.
And Miiverse.
Yeah. So I like Ryu's level. I mean, it's not stimulating. The art in the background is amazing, but I don't really like the platform design. I mean, it's okay, but I don't think it's going to become one of my favorite levels to play on or anything. It's kind of another mediocre level.
It's pretty basic.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But to me, sometimes basic is good because it's something that people who are hardcore can play on versus having to go to Final Destination or Omega levels.
Yeah.
They can play on a more basic level, but with a little bit of platforming, which is nice.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And Kirby's Dream Land's great. I'm truly excited for bringing back the Hyrule level.
Okay.
64. I still, though, where is Corneria?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's in the 3DS version. It's in every other version. My favorite level... it's not in the Smash Bros. 4 for Wii U.
Yeah.
Maybe with Star Fox, I don't know, but we'll see. But anyways, I bought the whole DLC, but I'm not gonna lie, I found it a little bit expensive.
Okay.
I thought it's to buy the DLC pack for 3DS and Wii U, at least in Canada, it's just under $40, and Smash Bros. For 3DS is only about $45 brand new. So it just seemed like a imbalance of what you were buying. I mean, you're getting 3 characters, 2 of them are basically clones, and 2 old levels, and you have to pay like $40.
Yeah, but the only thing I'd have to say is that one, the characters are about $5 each, which is standard for fighting games. A lot of games that are Nintendo made have DLC that's really cheap. So you're kind of used to having cheap DLC from Nintendo.
True. I mean, Mario Kart is so cheap. For what you get.
Exactly.
I'm spoiled. And, Splatoon's basically free.
Yeah.
Loving Splatoon, by the way, but we'll talk about that some other time.
Okay.
Because I know you don't have the online set up yet, and you haven't really played it.
No.
Anyways, let's move on. Okay, Smash Bros. DLC, good stuff, cool. I think that we probably won't see much more from Smash Bros. At E3.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they got it out of the way. I still think we'll see some later on this year, maybe a holiday DLC pack, but I don't expect to see too much more for a while. In August, we'll get maybe those extra N64 levels, and we'll get those
tournament mode
tournaments, which looked cool. I didn't quite obsess about that quick footage, but it looks like you'll be able to do like an online tournament as well as like a drop-in style tournament,
but with custom rules too, which is cool.
Yeah, so like you and I guess, could you do like a one-on-one tournament and really just...
You can do like a one-on-one, a two-on-two, a two-on-one, and you can do things like one-on-one bombs are only allowed, or only hammer mode, or like only...
Okay.
It's really cool.
But is it easy to just jump online and drop into a tournament, or are they going to do hosted tournaments, kind of like Splatfest and Splatoon? Are they going to do that, do you think?
I'm not sure.
Like, I wonder if they do a kind of, between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. on this day, there's, this big tournament, and you can go on and just drop into a tournament.
I think it's more so those are user-created, which you can definitely do, but I don't know if Nintendo themselves will create those tournaments.
Well, it just seems like what's taking so long to get this up and running? I mean, like, really?
Well, I think the more they stagger their downloadable content, the more they can price it out.
Well, tournaments should be free, because they announced
you're right.
Came out.
Tournaments are free, you're right.
And it just doesn't seem that complex. Like, you already have... Like, I can already play you... I just don't get what's so significant. I mean, maybe it's just to get the servers up and running for like, huge tournaments.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows?
Okay, well, that's good stuff. Let's move on. I think Smash Bros. For E3 is kind of out of the way. You got your prediction, which was kind of a cheap prediction, right. What do you think about the Nintendo Worldwide Tournament? Or World Tournaments 2015?
World Championship.
World Championship 2015. Yeah.
I loved it. I thought it was... I mean, I know it's still the beginning of E3 or even pre-E3, but in my mind, I mean, Nintendo's already knocked E3 out of the park, so...
Already?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really great... I thought it was great.
I feel... my personal feeling is that we've had a great appetizer. They showed us Yoshi at the Treehouse. They showed us Mario Maker. They dropped a couple... I think it was one 3DS announcement. They dropped the Earthbound announcement, which I'm not huge on, but I know fans will love it. They showed us the Smash Bros. Stuff with DLC today. So I feel like we've gotten this wicked appetizer, and now I'm ready for the meal.
Yeah.
Let's go through the Nintendo Championship, though. What was your highlights and lowlights for the thing?
For the championship, I would say the low light was probably... I don't really have a low light. I guess it would probably be watching Splatoon, even though I think that game's awesome and super fun to watch. The way they did their cameras, you didn't really know what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved a top-down, like the gamepad perspective of the map, so I had a sense of what team was winning.
Yeah, it was just like it wasn't very spectator-friendly as far as that game goes, and my favorite was definitely the Mario Maker, Super Mario Maker, I guess is what it's called now, but...
bar none, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing.
What did you think about, what was that new 3DS game they showed? Ball, first-person shooter,
it was
soccer?
Called, Mech Ball? It's forgettable to me. I had no idea.
1 sec. I'm going to look that up because I need to know. Okay, here we go. Blast Ball.
Okay.
The most generic name you could possibly give anything.
Yeah.
I thought it looked neat. I mean, it can't possibly cost more than like $5.
Yeah.
And it's neat. It's first party made apparently. Like I don't think we know exactly who's behind the development, but it looks. I mean, it's a first party title. And it's neat because it's first person, but what I saw, kind of the impression I got was that Nintendo's definitely playing in the first person shooter, the shooter genre, but they want to do anything they can to not have you shoot other opponents. They want to have you shooting ink, they want to have you shooting a ball into a net. So they're trying to put some different spins on that genre, which I think was pretty cool.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, if it's only going to be $4 and it looks like it's 6-player online, better be online. If you can just drop in, play $5, drop in and play, I think that'd be really awesome.
Yeah, I definitely think it'll be a fun game. I mean, I'm not necessarily ecstatic for it, but yeah, if the price is right, it's definitely something that could get a lot of sales. It's kind of one of those pick me up games that are super quick and easy to play. But
Yeah.
I'm certainly not going to get it personally. It's just not a game that I would ever pay money for.
Yeah, well, you know what? I said the same thing about that game Box Boy for 3DS. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, the one that is that HAL Laboratories that is making that. Who's
Yeah,
making? Yeah,
it's out already. And when I first saw the game, I'm like, this looks boring, dumb, whatever. But it got really good reviews, and it's probably the next game I buy for 3DS.
yeah. I don't know much about it, but I mean, HAL Laboratories makes good games, and it looks interesting. I just don't know if that's a game I want to play, but it definitely has a cool gameplay ideas going on.
Yeah, it's just cheap, simple, on the go, quick, very quick levels. I kind of like that for travel. Anyways, let's move on. Very beginning of the well, the very beginning of the championship, we saw a little taste of Yoshi.
Yeah,
I mean, we've already seen tons of this game, and I think the European and press already have it. But I just got to reiterate, this game looks amazing.
totally.
Looks like a great game for co-op. I mean, it looks fairly challenging. The level they showed off.
Yeah.
But I gotta say again, what a cruel, cruel thing to do to show it off when it's not coming out in North America for so long.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, but I think it's not that far away. I mean, you kind of have to get used to that.
I mean, but it's coming out in like what, 2.5 weeks, 3
for
weeks,
for Europe, yeah.
and Japan and Australia.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I mean, I don't really know why that's happening, but I figure that you kind of have to accept that that's what it is, and you can't really complain about it anymore. I mean, it's gonna come when it's gonna come. It's gonna be great. That's how I see it.
yeah, it was cool. But I think the fact that we saw that as well as Mario Maker, as well as Blast Ball, as well as the Smash Bros, like they got kind of these things out of the way.
Yeah,
I thought, yeah, like you, the highlight was definitely Super Mario Maker. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I had it on the background. I liked watching it, but until that part came on, was I really glued to the TV.
yeah,
To the point where, like, by myself, I was actually cheering these guys on. I was actually frustrated when they'd lose, and I'm just trying to yell at them what to do.
yeah, yeah. I loved it too. It was great.
The new name, they changed the name and the logo from just Mario Maker with that ugly black and white temp logo to the yellow.
Okay.
Did you notice that? I mean, I thought
I
that was
honestly didn't know it was even renamed until I went online and read a forum saying the name was changed. I didn't even realize. I was too excited to see the footage.
yeah, I thought it was really good, and they have like Mario in like a yellow red construction uniform with a
Yeah.
little tool belt. It's kind of like the logo, I guess. I thought it looked absolutely amazing. You can have different paths in the level, lots of vertical scrolling in the levels. I feel like when they first showed it off last year, it was very much more plain.
Yeah.
They only had New Super Mario Bros. And the regular Mario Bros. Editions, and it looked like you could really only go horizontally.
Yeah. I know
And
what you mean.
since then, it looks like there's blown the gates off. Like you put custom enemy, like you saw the giant Kamex. They had the Bowser at the end that you had to use fire flowers. They had the baby Bowsers, but the NES versions.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, totally. I mean, it seems like you can literally do anything in this game, and I love that. I mean, they're kind of exemplifying or trying to show that each different Mario game, that all four of them, they actually do have different ways you can control Mario and totally different feels.
Totally.
So,
I mean, you can only wall jump in the new one, for example.
yeah, exactly.
So it looks like from what they showed today that you won't be able to just change generations like on the fly. Like originally, I thought that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think that you could do it during the gameplay, but I think you can definitely flip it while you're creating it.
Yeah. And I mean, I thought it was. I think one thing that they're gonna probably make you do is that you're gonna probably have to beat the level yourself before you can put it online.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be people should just make impossible levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
But it was cool because you're going to be able to go on, and some will be more puzzle, some will be more extreme difficulty, some will be more just about running and doing crazy jumps and hopping on things and
Yeah, reflexes, silly, crazy, fun.
yeah, and like that one part, I don't know if you remember when they were in the caves and they're choosing the levels, and there was all those spring jumps like bouncing
yeah.
around everywhere, and one got thrown up against the enemy, the Koopa.
Yeah.
And he was bouncing off of it, and I was like, whoa, like they've gone to town on the physics on this game.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see how it wouldn't be a perfect game unless they somehow botch this online setup.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, they for how long they've spent on it, they got to do it right.
But I have a lot of faith. I think it seems like a really good game, and I mean, is Miyamoto the one that's producing it or making it?
Well, who really knows? He's kind of the director of all the games at Nintendo EAD.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he probably just pops in there and says, yeah, good, do this, and leaves.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that I'm hoping for, because, we've seen a lot of this game. It looks great. We already know there's online. They've already confirmed that you can even kind of search, and there'll be a rating system so the good levels rise up and all that. But there's kind of two distinct things that I really want. I want there to be the ability to, let's say... almost to share worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, like the way they played 4 levels today, maybe I could send you something, and you got like a little message or a little ping on your home screen of your Wii U. I doubt that would happen, but something, even in game, and you kind of said, "Oh, Peter sent you a world," and it's like 4 or 5 levels.
They've confirmed that, I'm pretty sure.
Have they?
In the last direct where they showed Mario Maker, they showed like where you can upload it online. And it says upload world 1.1.1.2.1.3.1.4.
Okay, that's cool.
I'm like 90% sure. I'm like, I don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure.
Because I'd really loved if they went the next level and I could upload these, send them to you, send them to whoever, and then I could see who beat them.
Yeah.
If I'm pushing my luck even further, I could see when people were dying.
Mm-hmm.
I could see the percentage of lose-win rates. I could see a rating. And if I'm really, really intense, I can even watch a replay of somebody playing it. Like I could send it to you and watch you try to play it.
Yeah, I'm not sure the replay will be something, unless it's your own personal level you're watching replays from, but I don't think I can watch a random person doing a random level.
Well, I mean, it's such a simple game, graphically.
Yeah.
It can't be I can't imagine a replay is this intense amount of data. Like, I mean, we're able to see our replays in Smash Bros.
It's not so much the data. I just think it's so, like, the online... Nintendo's just not good with online features. So they might have it, but I don't have a lot of faith in the features that they put in.
True. And there's one other thing that I hope for, and I'm still not sure they're going to put this in. I'd love to see a multiplayer.
Yeah, me too. Would you rather... You want to sell, like, 4 people to the screen?
Yeah, or even just 2.
I think they will have at least 2.
Yeah, I mean, 4 might get too hectic, but they've got to have 2 because, it's not like any of these levels are impossible when you add a second player.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and, if you could even customize it for 2 players. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say we're together, you have to hit a block for me to go do this or something like that. It could really blow it open.
Totally.
I mean, it can even be something that DLC later, they go, hey, boom, now you can pay more money for 2-player mode, and you get 2-player levels and 2-player custom levels and all of that.
I'm almost 100% sure, just because, like you said, it's not graphically heavy, and the fact that they have the gamepad. Like, I just can't imagine this being only one controller.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I really hope that when I'm playing by myself, I don't have to use the gamepad. I'd love to be able to use like a Wii remote or a classic controller or something.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure, just because I think the gamepad is, at least for creating, is a really big part of it.
Well, of course you have to create it with a gamepad. I mean, when you're just playing.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe I just don't want to. I'm up in the air for that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's an absolute day zero.
Yeah.
And I mean, I definitely know, maybe I'll make a couple levels, but for the most part, I'm more excited just to be able to go online and play a totally random new level at any time.
Mm-hmm.
And just see what people come up with.
No, totally, yeah.
Okay, so that looks great. Do you think they'll probably show it off a couple more times throughout the year, maybe with a couple more little surprises, maybe amiibo support, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, that looks great. Let's move on. What did you think about when they played Smash Bros?
I mean, I thought it was Smash Bros. It was cool. I mean, I thought it was really funny when Reggie played or whatever, but
that's what I was getting at there. I mean, for how much hype he put into that, and even offered the guy a job. Did you see that part? He's like, "I'll give you a job," and the guy goes, "Well, I'm already an engineer."
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
that was a little awkward. But the fact is, like, man, did he not even play for 15 minutes beforehand? Like, does he have no idea how to jump?
I have no idea.
Like, they didn't show us the score, but I think he must have been in the minus
Like
15s.
No, like probably like 10 or something. Yeah, I agree. It is.
He just kept falling and dying.
Yeah, it was a bit absurd.
I mean, for the first few minutes, I thought, is he even going to hit the other player?
Yeah.
Like, he was playing absolutely just, I don't want to use the R word because it's, people don't like that word anymore. I don't even know what word to use, just ridiculously.
Yeah, he was just terrible.
Yeah, like he should be a little bit embarrassed. And then he said, I spent 16 hours running a company. It's like, well, with the horrible marketing that you guys have done, like 16 hours, like.
Yeah, and it's like it's still a video game company at the end of the day. Like, what are you doing for your spare time whatsoever?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, I never figured Reggie would be a good gamer.
Yeah, true. And with all due respect, they actually marketed Splatoon really well.
Yeah,
it's done really well. But
and that guy he played against is like literally one of the best players in the whole world. I know, like
the way he played didn't blow me away.
Hungrybox is like world renowned. Like he's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just thought it was a bit embarrassing for him to have talked such a big game and at least play for an hour.
Yeah.
At least learn how to recover and jump. Don't be so disrespectful of. It's almost. I found it just ridiculous.
Yeah, but I think that might have also been part of the humor.
I don't think so. I mean, when he first started playing, there was a moment there. I said, you know what? If he even puts up a sliver of a fight,
yeah,
then I'll be impressed.
Yeah, totally. No, I agree. I mean, it was kind of disappointing in a way, but I don't really care in the end.
No, of course I don't care. And to be honest, it's kind of funny that he even did it in the first place.
Yeah.
Rather than some corporate CEO who doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I thought he was gonna lose, and they were gonna be like, well, looks like Reggie can't win, and then they bring out not Shigeru Minamoto, but Sakurai, and he's actually really good at those fighting games. I read this thing where he played a Tekken tournament or Street Fighter tournament out of 100 people, and he won.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's not like a joke of his skill.
That must be why Ryu's in Smash Bros.
Yeah, he was super excited to have Ryu in Smash Bros.
I mean, just jumping right back to Ryu and Smash Bros. Actually in Sakurai. Do you think it's a little bit funny that they showed a Virtua Fighter, Tekken, and Street Fighter representation in Smash Bros. When those series are hardcore underrepresented on Wii U? And the Wii for the most part. I mean, they could have easily released Ultra Street Fighter 4 on the Wii U. They didn't. They could have easily announced Tekken 6 for the Wii U. They didn't. Virtua Fighter has never been on a Nintendo system.
Yeah, but it's not like Capcom doesn't have games that come out for the Wii U. I think ultimately just trying to get the best fighter.
But they don't anymore.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. I I don't know what you want me to say. I support it. I mean, I think it's cool.
I just thought with that there might have been just a port of Street Fighter Ultra. Street Fighter 4 Ultra. But
I mean, E3 hasn't happened yet. Who knows?
True, and there's also another wild speculation, mostly of fanboy dreams, but of a Nintendo versus Capcom.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that too, and I think that'd be an awesome game. I hope that maybe that is announced tomorrow or next Tuesday.
That'd be huge, and if it's announced on Tuesday, then it kind of dates this podcast. But that would be really awesome. And there's been some speculation that since Marvel left, since Capcom lost Marvel's license, that team hasn't had much to work on. And just apparently the creator of Marvel vs. Capcom has spoken out about a dream to do that. Nintendo's talking about more collaborations. There's been that wild rumor about a big third-party announcement. So who knows, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, definitely a Nintendo versus Capcom is not something that you think, oh, it's on Wii U, why would they even do that? That's something they can put on any system in the future. Because if they actually make it sprite-based, it's not like it's going to age badly.
Yeah, no, totally.
The other thing that I do wonder, though, too, is that, it with Pokken, would they really release Pokken and Nintendo versus Capcom? It just seems like a lot of fighting games, especially with Smash Bros. As their kind of feature head for fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just wild speculation. So, yeah, I guess that's my takeaways. Do you think that they'll do a championship next year? Do you think it'll be a yearly thing?
I think so. I mean, they had 350,000 people watching by the end of it. So
no.
Yeah.
That many?
Yeah. 330,000 online.
It's insane. And that auditorium was packed.
Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of hope they do it every year. It'd be kind of cool.
I mean, personally, I find this approach in the last couple of years they've done E3, the fact that they're using the big stage presence as it's almost like it's for gamers. I mean, last year was Smash Bros.
This year's World
this year's
Championship.
the championship.
Yeah.
They're not using that for some big corporate marketing ploy to talk about sales. And then when they do give us their big announcements, they do it through a direct video that comes out at the same time for everybody, streams for everybody at the same time.
Yeah, I think that's kind of about the whole essence of Nintendo. Is like, Nintendo's for the games, for the players, for having fun together. So I think that's kind of maybe what they're emphasizing in that sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're a couple days away from E3 here. I hope this, me saying that doesn't date this thing, because we're basically talking about our feelings from this previous announcement.
Yeah.
If you're just tuning in now or in the next 24 hours, definitely check out some of our E3 talks, because it's a big time of year.
Yeah.
And we noticed our last video. I mean, if you've even made it to the end here of the podcast, this isn't a long one, but if you're at this point, you've probably seen our E3 predictions. Check that out. It's our most viewed video.
Yeah.
But
I'm winning, just for the record.
And you're winning with your cheap predictions of what was leaked.
Yours are just as cheap.
Yeah, Pikmin 4 is cheap. Yeah.
Yeah, Metroid's cheap.
With all the hinting and with Retro talking about being at E3, I think for sure.
Okay, well, you were gonna predict that one too.
Well, that's just how she goes.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how I designed this, right? So that it's a win-win for me no matter what. Because either I win at the predictions, or I win by getting a new Metroid. So you see how this wins for me?
Yeah, I get it.
So for you, it's a lose-lose.
Why?
Well, no, it's either you win big or you lose big.
Yeah, are you get a Metroid and a free game, or I don't? Like,
either you get Metroid and a free game, or you have to buy me a game and you get no Metroid.
Yeah,
so it's one or the other.
You're like the middle of the line. I'm all or nothing.
But even at this point, you never know what comes up my alley. You know what I mean? I mean, they could have easily shown Project Giant Robot today. I think that's going to have a big presence.
No, totally, yeah.
I think that Pikmin 4 is definitely within possibility.
Yeah.
You're hesitating. It's probably not happening. Let's be real.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Not with Miyamoto representing Star Fox and Mario Maker. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that wraps it up, guys. If you're still listening in here, leave a comment. Join the discussion. Let us know
please do.
Let us know what you think. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Keep the support going, because we want to keep this going.
Yeah.
And we got to get those clicks, baby.
That's all with the clicks.
Yep. All right. This is Nintendo Bros Podcast signing out.
Have a good one.